Welcome to Envisioning Success, the weekly podcast where Laura Di Benedetto and Julia Becker-Collins share tips, suggestions, and stories to help you succeed in business. In today's episode, we explore 5 guidelines for creating and maintaining a successful personal brand, such as making sure to prioritize adaptability, creating a professional presence, examining your goals, and utilizing information trackers like Google Alerts. And now, here's Laura and Julia.
Hello and welcome back to Envisioning Success. I'm Laura Di Benedetto, joined by Julia Becker-Collins. As always, we love you and we're excited to help you make more money without all the frustration. We can help you get more customers. The show is sponsored by Vision, celebrating 25 incredible years of helping our clients to kick ass, take names, grow their businesses, and say goodbye to frustration. So if you are, rock horns, So we're very proud of the success that we've achieved, and we'd love to help you with that as well when you're in the mood. For now, this show is all about giving you great wisdom for free that you can use to grow, learn, and make tons of money from. Today's episode is all about the do's and don'ts for your personal brand. So the last 3 episodes, we've been talking about how to build a personal brand, how to use your personal brand on LinkedIn to make money and make sales. Then the last episode, we talked about how to grow it and expand it. This one is all about some really important do's and don'ts.
Yep. I am stoked to wrap up a 4-episode session about one of my favorite topics. Can you walk us through the first actionable tip, Laura?
Sure can. So the first one is seek advice from a professional. So if you're working with like us or someone like us.
Wait. Why would anybody work with somebody who wasn't us?
Because they're crazy.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, obviously. So if you are crazy enough to not work with us and you have someone else, congratulations, I'm glad you have someone. But make sure that you're asking your marketing partner or mentors for feedback on your brand's presence and adjust based on the insights. Now, here's the caveat to that. Make sure that they've walked the walk and can talk the talk. You don't want someone who just gives you theoretical, like, unfortunately, professors are accused of, those who can't teach. Well, that is true in a lot of entrepreneurial circles as well. Do not get someone who basically bought all their followers and then they're going to start dispensing advice to you. You want someone who's actually been in the trenches, who has built their own profile themselves and has made money from it, like myself, to be able to give you proper critique on what works, what doesn't, and actually look at your profile with you to help you figure out what's working, what's not working, areas for optimization, things that are really hurting you, things that are really helping you, things that you really should call out a little bit more if your profile picture sucks. You need someone to give you an outsider's perspective, because I can tell you something really true, and Julia and I know this intimately. It is lonely at the top. Business ownership can be very, very lonely, and you get this crazy echo chamber in your head, and you're like, I've made a good decision. I think I've made a good decision. Did I make a good decision? I don't know. I made a decision. Yeah, it's a good decision. I made it. I'm going to stick with it. No, I'm not. I mean, it's just lunacy, right? We do this to ourselves. Work with someone who can help you. Been there, done that only. That's the qualification.
I totally agree. It is so lonely at the top. That's why it's helpful to have either a business partner. We previously talked about how to bring on a business partner, how to vet them, or somebody in your network that's a trusted advisor, or to pay a coach or something. But like Laura said, vet them. Just because they say they're an expert doesn't mean they are an expert.
Yeah, they might be just really good at sales.
Yep.
Fortunately, the lovely lady that I spoke with earlier today, helping her improve her business, she hired other marketers who are really good at sales. And she got, unfortunately, roped in hook, line, and sinker into things that serve the person she bought from, but don't really serve her, because they're not listening. They're not selling with integrity. They're not selling to serve. They're selling to make a sale and eat. And I'm all about people eating, but do it with integrity.
Yep. Agreed. So number 2, monitor your online presence. So we talk about this a lot with clients and with prospective clients about knowing what people are saying about you online. If you listen to a previous episode all about what your brand is, I said it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. This is part of that. So your personal brand needs to know, what are people saying about you? Use the tools available to track how often your name or associated keywords are mentioned online. A good example of that is Google Alerts. It is a free tool.
I love free.
That is off. We love free. You can set it up. You have to have a Google profile, which is also free. And you can set it up to scan the web for the name of your company, for your name, for any kind of hashtags you know and use, to know what your competitor is doing, etc. I have Google Alerts set up for myself and Laura and for the name of the company, so I know what's happening out there. It's also to help make sure you don't have any surprises, whether they're good or bad. It's to know, like, oh, I was quoted in that article. They never got back to me. Or, oh, I didn't realize that already got posted. Or, hey, we got cited as an expert in this other thing. It's really, really helpful and important.
It is. That's such a really good point. I don't think people really do that enough. The other thing that I'm a huge fan of is making sure that you take part in all of the metrics available to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to know, so you need to know your avatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, you also need to know, well, how did this land with my avatar? Well, if it landed like a lead balloon, probably don't post more stuff like that. So pay attention to not just, your online presence, but also the metrics of what you create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What's number 3, Laura?
Number 3 is reflecting on your goals. It's very important for you to do that. You want to regularly review your branding goals and assess whether or not your current strategy is helping you to reach them. Sometimes we get caught up in the weeds. We just keep on keeping on. And that's great if you're rambling down the road in Route 66. But when it comes to social media and building a personal brand online and off, you really want to reflect on what you're doing. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. Sometimes people are just trying to be popular. Popular don't pay the bills.
Right.
So reflect on your goals. Like, oh, I want to have 1 million followers. Cool. Why?
Right. Why is that your goal?
If you need a hug that bad, go make a friend. If you need validation, learn to love yourself. Social media, personal branding, all that other stuff. These are tools to help you get something out of life, and usually in the way of commerce. And if you don't actually reach your goals, something is broken. So either you need to reevaluate your goals because maybe they're too lofty or they're stupid. Sometimes your goals are stupid. I make stupid goals. Sometimes we all do. Or maybe your strategy is not working. So you want to make sure that you take a look at your goals, strategy, make sure both are grounded in reality, and then it's getting you where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What's point 4?
Point number 4, be adaptable. We prepped for these episodes, obviously, and I thought for a second it said adoptable.
You're so cute. I would adopt you.
Oh, thanks.
Aww.
So be adaptable, not adoptable. Don't be afraid to pivot.
Pivot.
Your approach. If you don't get that joke, I don't know what to say to you. Your approach if something isn't working.
I wonder if our producer knows this joke and if that will show up in the little GIF in the corner. I hope so.
God.
Put the GIF here.
Pivot!
Right. Exactly. The best brands evolve over time. So this is what I always say to prospective clients and current clients. Just because we know it's working now doesn't mean we know it's going to work in the future. And the best type of marketing professional you can partner with doesn't hardline like we are going to do X number of Facebook posts, this number of LinkedIn posts, etc. The best expert knows that the landscape is ever evolving. And so you need to bob and weave with it. And you need to take advantage of where it's going and how you can capitalize on it rather than digging your heels in and being like, well, I've always liked Facebook, so I'm going to continue to post on Facebook, and then to your own detriment. People in entrepreneurship and business leadership always say adapt or die. And it is very true. If you can't turn the ship, if you can't make the change, your brand, your company will die.
You've just described my entire career, adapt or die. Listen, I love marketing, love it, but it's a bit of a love-hate because every Thursday something's new. And I've managed to make, adapting and punting my entire business strategy. It's just like, well, what are we doing today? Pinky, or brain or whatever it is. It's like, same thing we do every night.
Punt.
Try to take over the world.
For real. What is number 5, Laura?
So you want to avoid some common pitfalls. Don't overshare. Don't share your dirty freaking laundry. Don't be passive aggressive. Listen, I got some people who shall not be named that are always like, okay, listen, you know who you are. You did blah, blah. Don't do that. It's embarrassing.
Vague booking. We call that vague booking.
Oh, that's an industry term. Vague booking. Don't do that. It's really unprofessional. It's very juvenile. Don't do that. Don't share way too much personal detail about your life. You do have to keep in mind that the online world is filled with nice people, but it's also filled with weirdos. Some of those weirdos live in their mom's basements and they just like to put on lipstick in the corner and turn the light on and off. And, weird. If you haven't seen Billy Madison, you don't get the joke.
The Silence of the Lambs reference.
No, that was Billy Madison.
Oh, okay.
It puts the lotion on its skin. That's fine too. Or else it gets the hose again. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, this was back when movies were good.
Well, I just saw a good movie. So
yeah, those are 2 of them. So anyway, this one is interesting. Stay away from controversy unless it is part of your brand. I have been very, very public about whether or not people should use politics, religion, or any difficult subject in their marketing and branding. There are very few times that it's appropriate to do that. Most times it's not, okay? The times that are, you need to make sure it benefits your customer. It benefits your business. It is relevant and you can make money from it. If it can't pass that 4-part test, shut up and keep your thoughts to yourself, because you don't want to get in trouble for just kicking the hornet's nest too much. You will get kicked out of platforms for having controversial views. That's just how it is these days. And I'm all about constructive controversial comments. And that's what we like to call a hot take. So if you have an unpopular opinion on something that happens to be right. So for example, I am very interested in meritocracy. Okay. I firmly believe in hiring people based on merit. I understand that a lot of the world really likes doing things to check some boxes, but at our company, we believe in talent. We want to hire the best and brightest. And I stand behind that. I'm proud that I can bring my clients the best and brightest. So some people think they're like, hell yeah, because they're old like me. And other people are like, oh my God, that's such a hot take. I don't like it. Well, I'm sorry you hate merit. Go work with a loser company then that like is okay with like B players. I work with A players. And that's why we get the results that we do. So I'm okay digging my personal heels in the sand on that subject when I am talking about my personal brand. Mm-hmm. Now, the other thing is you always want to stay professional. Trust me, I see lots of interesting things online where sometimes I have to restrain myself from strangling the ever-loving business out of somebody. And it's like, okay, A, do I even need to respond? Probably not.
Right.
B, if I'm going to respond, is this an opportunity? Can I use this moment constructively to actually highlight my unique approach, how great I am at something, or the fact that I am more mature than this schmuck that just decided to show up in my comments acting like a loser.
Right.
So you always have the opportunity to take the high road. So make sure that you stay professional, even when you're very tempted not to. I have to tell you, I speak to many entrepreneurs because of all the personal branding that I've built, and they confess and tell me how absolutely difficult it is for them to hold their tongue and not try to troll people when things get rough. And I'm like, well, unless you can stand the heat, probably don't go in that kitchen.
Right.
Just saying.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard for people. It's kind of the same difficulty as like when you get a bad review online and you just really want to flame the reviewer. Don't do that either.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I feel like, Julia, you and I have seen many, many war stories of angry clients be like, I got a bad review and I'm going to burn their house down. Yeah, actually, you're going to do none of that.
We have a client that we have been working to build back from a very bad series. They had not only bad reviews, but they were answering them in a really bad way. And we have spent the past year trying to build back their online reputation because of not only how poor the reviews were, but how poorly they handled it.
Ugh.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the internet doesn't always forget.
Yeah.
So, keep that in mind. At the end of the day, the thing about personal branding that you always want to remember is to show up and give it your best.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be lazy. Don't shortcut it. Don't be renegade and be sloppy. Be very intentional about what you create with your personal brand. And when you are intentional, you'll be able to follow the 5 points that we've given you. And when you're sloppy, you'll definitely be doing all the don'ts. So don't do that. Be intentional, be clear, be professional, be polished, be consistent. And I think you're going to be quite successful.
Nice.
Yeah. Trying to be encouraging. Leave them on a high note.
In your personal brand to be encouraging.
Yeah, it actually is. I'm always like, you can do it.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I try to be the happy one. You try to be the miserable one. It's fine.
I don't have to try. I am the dark storm cloud. It comes natural.
Aww.
It's part of my personal brand.
No, listen, y'all, I'm going to tell you something kind of fun about Julia and I. I will text her. She will text me. I will tell her something really lovely, and she will respond with a black heart emoji. Mm-hmm. And mine are always red and like, yay, life is good. She's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to this?
No, I love this.
That's awesome. Cool. All right. Well, listen, friends, this has been awesome. Thank you for paying attention to these 4 episodes. If you missed a few, go back and listen. We do these shows for you. We want you to learn. We want you to grow. We want you to excel. And we really love to see you stop being frustrated. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have a hard time with your marketing. You don't have to make sales difficult. It doesn't have to equal suffering. So all that in mind, shoot us a note through our website if you have questions, if you would like to see us cover a particular topic for you. We'd be stoked to do it. Sometimes we get a little stumped with, what do we talk about? So feel free to hit us up with questions. And we're always here if you need us and you're ready to have an expert help you with your marketing. Adios.